We're here with VMblog at VeeamON 2022 at the Wasabi booth. Can you tell us a little bit about the company and what you're showing here at VeeamON?
Absolutely. So Wasabi is a pure play hot cloud storage company. That is what we do. We do it incredibly well. And the best part about it is it's simple, it's secure, and the price is just right?
And maybe you can give us kind of a little bit more technical of how the product works and what exactly it does?
Yep. So if you are using cloud storage, object storage, as part of your Veeam scale-out backup repository for VBR, or if you're looking for cloud object storage for your Microsoft 365 backups, Wasabi is the perfect cloud storage for that solution. Oh, and one more thing, if you're also doing cast and backups, we can help you there as well. Best part about it is the price is so good, you'll have practically 5 times more storage to back up everything you'd possibly want to back up and still save money.
And also, can you tell us how you partner with Veeam and what's the value add?
Sure. So we work with practically every Veeam sales team and we help them make sure that their customers can follow that 3-2-1 rule, right? You want to have 3 copies, 2 on different kinds of media. Well, when you use air-gapped, immutable cloud storage, that is the perfect way to make sure that your backups are secure and that nobody, not anybody in your company, outside your company, or anybody else for that matter, can mess or break your backups.
And I guess, will we be able to take a look at the product, maybe get a demo?
Absolutely. So what I'll do is I'll have Chris Rushton, our solutions architect, take you through how we integrate with VBR using our immutable cloud storage.
Welcome everybody. My name is Chris Rushton. I am a channel solution architect over here at Wasabi. And today we are going to be doing a demo on creating an object lock bucket in the Wasabi console, as well as setting up an object lock repository or immutable repository in Veeam. First step is to log in to your Wasabi console at console.wasabisys.com, going to your bucket tab and clicking create bucket. We're going to type in a bucket name and then select a region. We're going to use the US1 region in this example. Click next, and you will see a new item down here called object locking, and it says versioning must be enabled. So we're going to enable the bucket versioning toggle, and now we're going to enable the object locking toggle. You can go ahead and click next, and we see in the review screen that object locking is permanently enabled. Click create bucket, and now you have a bucket with object lock created on it. Now that you have your object lock bucket created, we want to view the settings of that bucket. So we're going to click on the settings option, and instead of the original Wasabi compliance tab here, you're going to have an object lock tab. Now, the original Wasabi compliance is not enabled on this bucket. It is the new object locking. Here you can see the bucket level defaults. Now, if you notice, they're not enabled by default, but you can turn them on. However, using third-party applications, specifically Veeam in this case, is not supported with these settings. And what these settings do are dictate when you place a new object into the bucket, whether that item automatically comes with a retention hold on it or not. If you enable this, every item placed into the bucket will have, for example, a 5-day retention period on it on which it is immutable. Veeam handles this internally, so you do not have to worry about setting any default object locking policies on the bucket. In fact, Veeam does not even support enabling these options. And for the next portion, we're going to be setting up a clean instance of Veeam backup and replication to our Wasabi object lock bucket that we just created. So in order to do that, you're going to need to make sure that you've created a bucket using either the CLI or the console that has object lock enabled on it. The first step is going to be making sure that we have a local performance tier in order to store the data locally with Veeam. So I'm going to use a directly attached storage on this system. I've already created a folder, so we can call this Wasabi local tier. And I'm just going to browse to my existing path. This folder is empty. And we're just going to hit continue through the whole setup process. So our backup repository has been created. We want to hit no here to change the default backup location. Now we're going to add our object storage repository. This is where we select S3 compatible to add Wasabi in. And since we created the bucket in the US East region, we're going to use the main Wasabi URL, s3.wasabisys.com. And I've already imported my keys to the account. We're going to select the bucket that we created, my Wasabi object lock. And we're going to create a new folder inside of it. We'll call that data. And now the most important part, we're going to check this box to make recent backups immutable for 10 days. And when you do this, Veeam will reach out to Wasabi and validate that object locking is enabled on the bucket. Since that was successful, we see the summary here and we can click finish. And now we have our local tier and our Wasabi object storage with immutability turned on through Veeam. So before we can use it, the last thing that we need to do is add a scale out backup repository. We're going to give that a name, and we're going to add our local performance tier that we just created. We're going to leave this option alone. And now we're going to extend this capacity tier over onto our object repository storage that we just created. And we're going to remove the move backup options because we won't need it for the demo, but we'll have the copy backups to object storage as soon as they're created in order to put data onto Wasabi. Once this finishes, we should be good to go to set up a backup job. We're going to go ahead and click Backup Job to create a standard backup job on a virtual machine. And we're going to leave the name default and then add a test machine, which is one of our small backup VMs. It's only 16 gig, so it should go pretty quickly. And then we're going to change the retention policy to 1 day, and the most important part would be to select the new Wasabi scale out backup repository that we created. This will ensure that the backups get copied over to Wasabi. We're going to hit next and continue through this setup, and then we want to run the job when I click finish. So as you can see, the job immediately started to run after creation of the backup job. And what's happening now is that Veeam is going out to the virtual machine and creating a backup of it. Once this portion finishes, an offload job will run and immediately copy over the data to Wasabi, and it will place the proper retention periods on that data. As you can see, the offload job has been completed, so Veeam made the backup and then copied it over to Wasabi. We're going to take a look inside the bucket that we created earlier and check out the retention period that Veeam has placed on the new data. So we'll maneuver into the directory structure that Veeam creates and take a look at our checkpoint. We have an object locking mode of compliance, and we have a retain until date of May 15th, which is tomorrow. And we can also see the legal hold status, which is off. As far as I'm aware, Veeam does not support any type of legal hold, and you should not use any legal hold inside Wasabi on Veeam type objects. The last part of our demo here is what happens if we try and delete the local backup stored on Veeam when it's been placed in immutable storage on Wasabi. So we're going to select the restore point, which we had just created, and try and delete it, simulating an accidental delete. So this is the local copy, and it asks us if we also want to delete the backup from the scale out backup repository. We're going to say yes here. And Veeam is going to talk to Wasabi and see if the objects are able to be deleted and delete them. If not, it's going to throw an error. So as you can see, Veeam reached out to Wasabi and it says it's unable to delete the local backups because it's marked as immutability until May 15th at 9:35 a.m. So through Veeam, you are unable to delete the local copy of data if the Wasabi data is marked as immutable.
All right, so one more thing. We recognize that for Veeam and for Veeam customers, it really is all about cyber resiliency. Wasabi is the perfect partner to provide you with that immutable cloud storage to support your requirements, to support everything you're trying to do to keep the bad guys away. If you want to learn more about what Wasabi does with Veeam, go to wasabi.com/Veeam. You'll see everything you need to learn all about our mutual solutions there.
Great. And thanks for taking the time to speak with VMblog today.
Thanks for having me. Have a great day.